Hello, everyone. Okay, so let's begin the next part of the topic of our chapter number 9, that is A Nation in the Making. Okay, so in this part, we have completed till the first two paragraphs, and in the next part, we are going to cover the rest part. Okay, so before starting, I want to tell you that in these paragraphs, what are we going to study about? Some more demands of Congress, and in the last paragraph, we are going to study that why were these demands were being so moderately after this much of impoliteness, rudeness of Britishers towards Indians, why Indians or the Indian National Congress is behaving so politely, so systematically to the British government, right? They should, if something is happening very rudely to them, they should respond, because Britishers were very critical to us, and they were so rude to us, they were so impolite, so heartless to us, that we should not be responding them with, with petitions, or with in a systematic way, in a proper way, in a official way, right? All right, so let's begin. What were the demands? So, the early Congress also raised a number of economic issues. Obviously, as they were increasing the taxes over the lands, over zamindars have to pay a lot of things, and Rajas were forced to, give them give tributes to them, and always have to give them, whatever happens, they have to give anything to Britishers if they come in their area. So it declared that British rule had led to poverty and famines. That is so true. That how poverty, as they were increasing taxes, so the poor farmer or the peasant of that times India, of the in those times, the peasants of India were really facing shortage of food, shortage of everything, and they are not able to, you know um, afford anything, and they have to give a lot of more than even 50% of their vegetation to the Britishers, and they are not able to fill their own stomachs as well, and then not to fulfill the needs of their own families, right? So, increase in the land revenue had impoverished peasants and zamindars. Export to grain to Europe had created food shortages, obviously, because the whatever food is growing in India, all food is being exported to the Europe, and they are earning money. They are minting coins from that, so they are happy. The Europeans or the Britishers were happy. But what about Indians? What about Indian peasants? The Congress demanded reduction of revenue. Now let's come to the demands. So, what Congress demanded? Congress demanded that revenue should be decreased. Military expenditure of Britishers. The British military expenditure should be decreased. That because they expend a lot of money over their military, so that their forces should be really very strong to fight in the world, to fight in the world wars, to fight with Indians, and all of that. And more funds for irrigation means British government should provide irrigation funds to the peasants. Now let's come to the next part. It passed many resolutions on the salt tax. Now they also demanded that salt tax should be removed. The treatment with Indian laborers in the foreign countries means, the as we know, we have read in the earlier chapters that the Mauritius and all of these places where Indians were used to be taken, as and in that times the slave trade was very common, and it was a really very big issue. Slaves were being treated as, animals, and they were used to be sent to some other place to work in the plantation, under the plantation owners, or anything, which is a very hard work. And they are not even allowed to go to meet their families. Their needs were not fulfilled, and all of this stuff used to happen. So Indians were also taken from one place to one country to another country for to earning money, and that money is not even for them, okay, or their families, or they get a very little amount of the money they earn, okay. Now let's get to the next thing, that forest dwellers. Now, forest dwellers were also suffering, as we have read in chapter number 4, that is tribals, Dikus, and the and the vision of the golden age. In that, we have heard about forest dwellers, that is the tribal people, right? So, those tribal peoples were also suffering from this thing, as the caused by an interfering forest administration. As tribal people's land is the forest, right? And if forest is also taken from there, then what will they earn? What will they eat? What will they use? They use forests in a lot of ways. Okay, now all of this shows that Congress was actually taking all this seriously, but they were thinking that Britishers will listen to us. Britishers will listen to us and complete our demands. And that is what the wrong thing, or that is what you can say, their, you know, uh, that was Indians' misconception. Okay. So now the moderate leaders wanted to develop public awareness. Now, in spite of all these demands, what moderate leaders or the INC wanted that public should also be aware, because Britishers were in India, they were ruling India, but still in very, very remote areas of India, people don't even know what is happening to them, what has happened to them, and what is wrong. They are just, what are they getting, they are doing it. They are not even curious about it. So INC wanted that people should know what is that, who are these Britishers, who are these aliens, from where they have come, and what are they exactly doing to us, and we should oppose them. So all these things should be, circulated to all Indians. And INC know that British rule was leading to economic ruin. Now let's get to the next thing, that uh, for public awareness, what were moderate leaders doing? They were printing newspapers, giving speeches in which they were criticizing Britishers and doing a lot of things, because they felt somewhere that British will respect the ideals of freedom and justice. And so they would accept the just demands of India. Means they have a thought that it they thought that there is a um communication gap between Indians and Britishers. Yeah, it was somewhere, but still it was very clear that Britishers were not facing any communication gap. They know what they are doing, and they know that is totally wrong with Indians. Okay, but INC thought that there is we should be would be a communication gap. That's why Britishers are not getting what Indians want and what is happening exactly. So they tried to be the communicator, or to be the translator somehow. What was necessary therefore was express these demands and make the government aware of the feelings of Indians. So that was it. In the next paragraph, in the next topic, we are going to study about radicals. I have told you in the beginning, radicals are those people who, I'll tell you in the next video. Okay, you may search for this term. That me you can take it as your homework. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you got it. If you have any kind of question, doubt, anything, or suggestion related to this video, or you can put in the comment section. I'll definitely read it and answer it if something there would be to answer. Okay, so thank you. Have a good day.